Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. Today, we're going to get started with the news segment in which we're going to talk about the latest sports news, which isn't really that controversial. Welcome to Newsflash. Alright guys, so we've talked about how the NBA season can return, and we actually made a video on that in which we thought of different ways in which the season can resume. We'll link that in the top right hand corner if you want to check that out. But anyway, there have been more further developments now on the ways which the NBA season can fully resume, with details being outlined on where and how the game could be played. Furthermore, there has been a lot of news and speculation on this one concept called the bubble concept, in which the NBA and executives, players, referees would all be huddled into one area, which is being looked into right now, such as Walt Disney World, pretty cool, and the Mandela Bay Stadium in Las Vegas. Now, the NBA is wanting to encapsulate all the players and all the staff into these zones so that the season can resume. So what do we think? Do we think that the main thing being here is that the season would have to resume starting in late December? So do we think that it is worth for the NBA to go into these bubble concept zones and resume so late? What do we think?
Well, see, as NBA players, I think that they have to choose if that's something that they want to do, like just being in one area for a long time, being away from family and friends and stuff like that. But also, if they don't do that, then the season might have to get canceled as a whole. And I don't think anyone wants that. So I think that's an option, but I really don't think it's the best option. I think that they have to keep looking for another option.
I don't really think there's going to be a fair concept that comes up. I mean, there's two ways to look at this, right? We have next season to worry about, the 2020-2021 NBA season, and that they're saying they might even push all the way back to December. And then you got to look at this season. The playoffs haven't even started. We don't even have a champion. What does the NBA want here? Do they want to crown a champion, or do they just want to go on to the next season? I feel like it's unfair to the work that's been put in this season to those players, but also they have to look to the future and see what other options they have. And I don't really think any option presented right now is fair in any situation. And I don't think there might even be a fair situation.
Yeah, I think the players are going to have to make a tough call, especially also the NBA. I mean, either salvage this season and crown a champion, or you just cancel the season and kind of negate all the hard work that's been put in and just start with next one. As for the Walt Disney World concept, I don't think that's really such a good idea, because you're going to have to bring so many people into that one area. If one person is sick or something, everything goes down the drain. And so I just think it's too risky to bring that many people into one area, especially for something that we can wait for until December, or even probably next year, like mid-May or something.
Ari, that's a great point, because yesterday ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reported that, it's a commodity for these NBA players. They're used to the 5-star hotels, the 24-hour luxury of having specialized meals for their body types. And, sure, they deserve that because of how much hard work they've put in. But now, considering the circumstances, this amount of staff, which is reported to be 1,000 to 1,500 people needed for the NBA to resume, and considering that there's going to be so many players and essential staff, there's going to be so many workers on top of trainers, chefs, who are going to be needed in one area. Is it worth to put this many people's life at risk for the NBA to resume?
I don't think that's should be, just for our kind of entertainment. I don't think that many lives should be put at, not necessarily lives, but just why would you want that to go down?
Yeah. Canceling the NBA season, no one really wants that. The players, the fans, the coaches. But I think that at this point, if we don't find a solution soon, then it's going to be really hard to find a solution later on, especially when there could be cases of a second outbreak of COVID-19. And I think the most viable solution right now is just to cancel the season, whether we like it or not.
For sure, man. Another point of view, another side, for you could call it, to this whole situation of the NBA resuming is, people who have power are able to get more accessibility to test, right? And it's being reported that if the NBA were to, go ahead with this bubble concept, they would need 15,000 plus tests. Now, this raises a big debate, right? And this has been going all over the news. Is it fair that people who have power, who have status in society, are able to get these tests? Because if the NBA wanted, Adam Silver, the league could arrange it tonight, make a call, get 15,000 tests right away. But from a PR, public relations standpoint, it's going to make the NBA look terrible. So in my opinion, I think that, as you guys highlighted, canceling the season is the best thing they can do right now. Because if they wanted to continue, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but they're going to get ridiculed. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think I would agree with you there, Rayon. And also, as per 15,000 tests, right? I think that would have to be done periodically. You can't just have a one-time test and be like, okay, yeah, everyone's clean. You do have to do it, a period of like 3 weeks just to make sure that everyone's good. And I just think that much test that could be used for necessary cases could, because these tests are going to be used just so we can be entertained, right? Basically. But if there's millions of people out there who need tests and aren't getting them, and so I don't think it's worth wasting these resources here and not giving the test to people that really need it.
Yeah, definitely. The NBA and ESPN's been reporting this every day on how they can resume. They're actually been highlighting that they can start the practice facilities in which players practice. They're reportedly soon to begin open fully on May 8th. However, there's been backlash on the point of view that some states, are still under the house order in which they're not allowed to leave, which raises the question: should these players be allowed to go to the facilities? And something interesting also is that it's been reported that players have secretly been practicing at these facilities, and it looks like it's very disorganized, to say the very least, at this point. All right, well, let's move on to our second segment for today, guys. Well, guys, the NBA season is looking like it's going to stop, which forces us to not talk about any future topics, which is why let's run back the clock. And recently, there have been developments also in terms of that the NBA draft and the NBA lottery the lottery has been postponed along with the draft, which is why we're going to be running it back and looking at some previous draft classes. And FYI, we did an episode on who we thought were the best draft classes, which we'll link in the top right-hand corner if you want to check out. But anyway, today, we're going to be running it back and looking at the 2011 NBA draft class and redrafting the first top 10 picks based on pure skill level and what the show they've put on in their career. We're going to start off with the 10th pick and work our way down to the number 1 overall pick. Well, guys, let's start off with the 10th overall pick in the 2011 NBA draft. Who do we think should have been that 10th overall? Abi, you want to start?
Yeah. So with 10th pick of 2011 draft, I think that Tobias Harris should have been drafted. I think Tobias Harris is a really good player for any team, especially with the work he's put on the Sixers. And he's just a great player, a good three-point shooter, a spot-up shooter in general. And I think that in terms of his playing style, I think it really can fit in any team's offensive scheme. And I think he's good enough to be in the top 10 picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go next here. I think with the 10th pick, the Milwaukee Bucks would take Tristan Thompson. I think Tristan Thompson he's a very good role player. He's very good at his job, rebounding, getting boards, and putting the ball back in the basket. And so I just think he's the best pick here.
Yeah, I think with the 10th pick here, I think the 10th best player in this draft was Jonas Valanciunas. The value he brings to the center position for whatever team's on. I mean, he showed it in Toronto. He's shown it in Memphis. I think he's a quality player and clearly the 10th best player in this draft.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go with Marcus Morris. I got all the players you guys highlighted later on my list, but not number 10. Number 10, I believe, is Marcus Morris. He put on a show with the Knicks, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He fell off a little bit with the Clippers, though, I might add. And that might be because, there wasn't enough time for him to fully get situated. But with my number 10, I'm going Marcus Morris. Well, let's move on to the 9th overall pick. Aryan, you want to start?
Yeah, I think Jonas Valanciunas fits best here. I just believe he's a better overall center than Tristan Thompson, and so I think I have him going before that. But yeah, I think this is a perfect fit for him. He's a good player. He can shoot. He can rebound. He can do everything. So just like Harsh said, he brings good value to the center position.
I'm just going to agree with you right there, Aryan, that number 9th overall, I believe Jonas Valanciunas, the value he brings to the center position, he's been doing pretty good right now with the Magic. So totally agree.
I have to go with Tristan Thompson for my 9th overall pick. As you said, Arian, I think he's a good role player, and especially with the Cavs, he's our starting center when they won the championship. I think that he's a reliable and consistent player, and I think that he deserves to be 9th overall.
Number 9 on the list, I think I'm going to have to go with Isaiah Thomas. I mean, you saw what he did in Boston, what he's doing in Washington right now. He's a quality point guard. You know, he gets the job done. He fits the role. And, you know, he's a coach's, like, favorite point guard. And I think he's a quality player to go with at number 9.
All right. Well, let's move on to the 8th overall pick. And Harsh, you know, the man was a 60th overall pick. This time he's going in my draft board number 8, Isaiah Thomas. You know, he was doing so good of a job with the Boston Celtics. Truly a tragedy that he was traded away to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where his career just spiraled out of control. But I think that Isaiah Thomas brings value and a good leadership position. That's why I believe he's number 8.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Jonas Valanciunas for my 8th overall pick. I think he's a really good player, especially as we've seen with Hartman, the Grizzlies and the Raptors. And yeah, I think he's one of the better centers in the league, and he's a good player.
With my 8th pick, I think I got to go with Tobias Harris here. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the whole NBA, especially I think because he gets he gets no spotlight because of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. But you know, when they're both out, he's proven that he can lead a team, and so I just think he's a very good small forward, a very good scorer of the ball, and so I think this is a good pick at the 8th pick for here.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, Arian. I'm going to go with Tobias Harris at number 8. You know, he's a great player. He showed it in LA when he was with the Clippers. You know, he got traded to the Sixers. Sure, he didn't get the spotlight, but he's a quality role player, even though he's more of a superstar caliber player, and he's really fit in well there. And he may not get the spotlight, but he's definitely deserving of number 8.
All right, let's move on to the 7th overall pick. With my 7th overall pick, I think I'm going to go Nikola Vucevic. You know, he's proven to be such a great center with the Denver Nuggets. Him and Jamal Murray, that combo has been going off truly. You know, in the West, they've been doing pretty good in a hard West, and this season, especially before the season was suspended. I believe that he was one of the prospects who was slept upon, and that's why he's going number 7th in my draft board.
For my 7, I'm gonna go with Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was he had an insane season with the Celtics before he got traded to the Cavaliers, and even though he hasn't been as successful, I still think you have to keep in mind that he definitely has a talent and he has a skill. He just had a bad luck in terms of getting traded to the Cavs, where he wasn't a good fit at all, in my opinion. So I think Isaiah Thomas deserves a spot.
I believe with my 7th pick, I think Isaiah Thomas also. I agree. I have to agree with the B on this one. Isaiah Thomas, if not for horrible management of his injury, he might still be a very good player today. And so I just think Isaiah Thomas. I think he's if he was still healthy, I think he'd been one of the better point guards in the league. And as we know, point guard is a very valuable position. And so I think this is a good spot for him here.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to agree with Rayan here. Nikola Vucevic, I think what he's doing in Orlando right now is fantastic. You know, he's proven in the past years that he's an all-star, and he's really going down a successful path to be one of the better players in the league for the future.
All right, let's move on to the 6th overall pick. With my 6th overall, I'm going to go with Tobias Harris. You know, you guys had him at your number 10 and 9, I believe. I'm going to go with him at number 6. You know, the amount of value which he has brought to the 76ers as a role player who sometimes comes off the bench, sometimes he was starting. And in the absence of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, he has truly been their main guy in the spotlight, and he's been putting on a show, which is why he is the 6th best.
For me, I'm going to have to go with Nikola Vucevic, especially after his recent All-Star appearance. I think that you have to give him credit. He's definitely improved as a player. And I think, in my opinion, he's the best player on the Magic, better than Aaron Gordon. And, yeah, I think that he deserves to be up there.
With the 6th pick here, I think Bojan Bogdanovic should be the 6th pick here. I also feel he's very underrated. Him and Tobias are very similar players. I think you could flip them either or. I believe Bojan Bogdanovic is better. But I think they're both quality small forwards who don't get the spotlight because of their teams.
Right. With number 6 here, I think I'm going to have to go with Tristan Thompson. I think he proved his value when he was in Cleveland with LeBron. I think he was doing a fantastic job there. And now even after LeBron's gone, you know, he's really shown that he's a quality player in the league and definitely deserving of number 6 within this redraft.
All right, guys, let's move on to the top 5. With the 5th overall pick, Abi, who should have been the 5th overall?
Okay, yeah. So I think our top 5 is going to be really similar in terms of all the players. That being said, my number 5 overall is Kemba Walker. He shined on the Hornets, and he's doing it again on the Celtics. And I think he's one of the best point guards in the league in terms of his handles, his explosiveness, his clutch ability. I think that he's a great player, and I think he's gonna be one of the future stars in the NBA.
Oh yeah, I have to completely agree with the B on this one. For all the reasons he stated, I think he would also be my number 5 overall pick in this draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Kemba Walker too, except for the fact that he's not a future star. He is a star right now. Look at what he did in Charlotte and what he's doing in Boston right now. I think he's a fantastic player and clearly the 5th best player in this draft.
For sure, 100% agree with you guys. We all got the same thing. It's the first time in show history, man. We all agreed on the same thing. But number 5, Kemba Walker, Charlotte Hornets, Boston Celtics, great player. Brings a lot of value to the point guard position. Not much debating to be done there. Well, let's move on to the 4th overall pick. Arian, who should have been the 4th overall?
The 4th overall pick should have been Klay Thompson. I think a lot of people are gonna give me heat for this, for putting him like I guess under Jimmy Butler, but I just think Klay Thompson, he's a very good player, but I don't think he can lead a team, and that's why I feel like he's good right here at the 4th pick. He's a star player. He's not an all-star player, is what I mean, and so I think this is a good spot for him in the draft.
Arian, don't you worry. You are getting no heat from me, as I completely agree with you. Klay Thompson, though no doubt he's an amazing player, half of the Splash Bros. But when you think of the person who led the Warriors, you think of Steph Curry. And I think Klay Thompson, as you said, Arian, can't lead a team. So, yeah, I'm going to have to put him number 4.
Yep, same overall. I agree with you, Arian and Nabi. 4th, Klay Thompson. He has 3 chips on his shoulder, 3 championships. He's that X factor, which brings so much value to a team. NBA 3-point in-game record for the most 3-pointers in a game. I believe Klay Thompson should have been 4th overall just because of the way he gets his teammates involved. But that's why he's my 4th overall.
Yeah, with 4th overall, I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys. I don't think it's Klay Thompson. I think it's Kyrie Irving.
What?
I think only for the reason.
What?
Yeah, it's Kyrie Irving.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm serious. Look, Klay Thompson, phenomenal player. Okay, let me finish, dog. Like, Klay Thompson, I mean, he's amazing. But, the thing is, you can't have all these leaders trying to butt heads. That's exactly what happened with Cleveland. Kyrie and LeBron, they had a feud. What happened? That whole dynasty that could have been is now gone. You know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry never had that feud. Klay Thompson knows that being a leader is not all that it means for being on a great team. Sure, it's a great quality to have, but you can't have multiple of those because it creates internal conflict, as we've seen on The Last Dance. So I think taking Kyrie putting Kyrie at number 4 is justified.
Harsh, we're talking about overall skill, like as a player, not just like about like his ability.
I can see Harsh's point here. I think you have to take the player's personality into account too. For me, talent trumps personality, and so I just believe that I think Klay is less talented than Kyrie.
Yeah. I think though, when you take talent, and if you can't merge that talent with any other talent on the court, I feel like that talent is essentially useless, and which is why I think Kyrie should be at number 4.
Okay, it's going to be interesting. Okay, let's go to our top 3 overall. Let's go to the 3rd overall pick. Abi, who's the 3rd overall?
3rd overall, in my opinion, is Kyrie Irving, because I think that he's a phenomenal player. I'm not denying it, but as Harsh is saying, I have to agree with some parts of what Harsh is saying. I just don't think he's 4th, but Kyrie, it's really hard to be Kyrie's teammate, let's be honest. And I think that, especially with Cleveland and with LeBron, and then him going to the Celtics, I think he's had a lot of issues with teammates. And I'm not saying Jimmy Butler's the perfect teammate or anything, but I think that Kyrie should go 3rd.
Yeah, I have to completely agree with you, Abi, on this one. I think Kyrie is, as Harsh stated, he does have some problems to him. We've seen in Boston as well as Cavaliers. But I just think he's too talented. He's an all-time great ball handler, and he's a great shooter. He's a great playmaker. Overall, he's he's probably top 5 point guard in the league. And so I just think this is a good spot for him at 3.
I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. I'm going to go 3rd overall is Jimmy Butler. He with the Chicago Bulls, he was averaging 21 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Great small forward. Not better than LeBron though. Don't get me mistaken about that. But still a great small forward. The amount of value he brings to a team and being able to get other teammates involved. And he's solo in his prime, a great player.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to go with Klay Thompson here. I think he's a fantastic player, and I put him above Kyrie because of that role he fits in with the team. Being a leader is an important quality, and obviously we see it. And maybe if you asked me this question a year ago, Jimmy Butler would be here at number 3. But he's proven in Miami, countless times that he can be a leader. And I feel like that quality puts him above Klay Thompson. But I still do believe Klay Thompson is a fantastic player, and number 3 is where he's at.
Yeah, for sure. Like if Jimmy Butler did not go to the Heat and had proven what he has proven so far, I would definitely put Kyrie Irving above him. But the Heat have been one of the best teams in the East, and as I said, like in the earlier video, I think they could even rival. Like they're probably gonna rival the Bucks too, giving them for the money.
All right, let's move on to the second overall pick. I think, in my opinion, I'm gonna start off here. I think Kyrie Irving should have been second overall. He's one of the greatest NBA dribblers in the history of the league. His clutch ability, as you guys pointed out, is just over the roof. Man, we saw what he could do against Golden State in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, in which they came over a 3-1 deficit. Just that minor quality, though, of the team and team aspect of the chemistry, which is why he's at my number 2 and not my number 1.
I think Jimmy Butler's the pick here. As V pointed out, I think I would have put Jimmy Butler at 3 if it weren't for the Heat. But obviously, we've seen that he can cultivate talent. He can grow talent. He can grow young players with him. And he's, I believe, top 5, top 4 in the East right now. So I just think it's obvious that he can lead a team, unlike Kyrie. And because of that trade, I have to put him
especially
at 2.
because all the young players in the Heat right now, like Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Kendrick Nunn, those kind of players who need a role model and a player to have their work ethic and playing styles, like Jimmy Butler. And I think Jimmy I think he can lead a team, as we've seen with the Heat. And I really have to give him credit for being, when he won the most improved player. And I think he's progressed a lot and gotten a lot better throughout his career in the NBA.
Yeah, for sure. From Tomball to Chicago to Minnesota to Philadelphia and finally Miami. Jimmy Butler going from number 30 in the original draft to number 2 here. I think Jimmy Butler is clearly the second best player in the draft. He's proven in Miami that he is that quality leader. Again, you asked me this question maybe a year ago when he's not proven what he has in Miami. He's a bit lower on the list. But I think he's shown that the teammate controversies are simply in his favor. He is the one pushing his teammates to become better, and it's his other teammates that may have been causing the problems.
All right, let's move on to the number 1 overall pick. Guys, I don't think that we're going to have any debating to do here. Arjen, you want to say who we all got in our minds?
Yes, sir. All right. Number 1 pick is the best player in the NBA right now, Kawhi Leonard. Bored man, fun guy. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players the best NBA player right now. Kawhi Leonard is obviously the number 1 pick here.
How dare you?
He locked up Giannis. He killed LeBron twice. I mean, it's without a doubt. 3-time champ. He's 3-0.
He did.
What's LeBron again? I think LeBron's 3-6, right? Garbage. 3-0. Great player. Great teammate. He causes no problems. He's a team leader, great player, clutch player. He has all the qualities you want in a player. And therefore, he's the number 1 overall pick.
I'm going to have to disagree with that. I'm going to have a controversial statement, and I'm going to go with Markieff Morris. No.
Markieff Morris.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard, no question. Insane player. Top 3 player in the NBA, not 1.
Better than LeBron.
No.
Giannis is better than Kawhi, in my opinion. And, he's just a crazy good player. He can lead any team. He can be on any team. And, let's go with Orion on this one. And
Totally agree with you, Abby. 3-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, I believe he is. One of the great two-way players of the game. For sure, not better than LeBron James, though, but still, he's a great player. That's why in this draft, he is going number 1 overall. He's in my, I'd consider in my top 50 all-time history. But, number one in this draft is going Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard, clearly the best player in this draft by far. Imagine him and LeBron in Cleveland taking down the Golden State Warriors. Rayon's coveted 35-year-old man. I feel like him and Kawhi would have been dominant together. But Kawhi, as Orion said, is better than LeBron and the number 1 player in this draft.
Well, guys, it was quite the NBA draft. The 2000 NBA 11 draft class was really, really in-depth. A lot of teams made some terrible moves in analyzing who would become a good player. And, especially the Minnesota Timberwolves with the number 2 overall pick. But anyway, we got a lot more debating to do. For sure, we've squashed the debate that LeBron is the better player, 35 overall, 35 years old.
Wow.
Nothing has been squashed. For anything, the debate that LeBron is not the best player in the league has been squashed.
Well, we got a lot more debating to do. We hope that you guys enjoyed our takes. Comment down in the comment section below who you think are your top 3 NBA players in the 2011 draft class. We'll be sure to respond. We love that you guys are interacting with us in the comment section. We hope that you check out more of our videos. We hope to catch you guys on the next one. See ya.